Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Toyota Prius car. The car that became famous for popularizing hybrid drives has another, highly valued feature, reliability. The aging Prius II already appears in well-known reliability rankings and occupies top positions. It is highly rated not only in Europe, but also in the United States. The cabin is full of storage spaces, which will certainly appeal to those who value functionality. The interior also has its drawbacks, which are poor rear visibility and a steering column that is only vertically adjustable. There are no fewer interesting features under the hood of the car, but the suspension is exceptionally normal. In front, a classic McPherson supported by a triangular wishbone, while in the rear, a simple, space-saving torsion beam. Its characteristics are quite soft. The car likes to bottom out on large bumps, but it drives confidently. After the facelift in 2007, it was stiffened a bit. The ESP system was installed as standard. When it comes to safety, there is nothing to worry about, because the Priuses were richly equipped, including 8 airbags, and in the Euro NCAP test, the model received 5 stars. The Toyota Prius II was equipped with a hybrid drive, which consists of a 1.5 VVTi petrol engine reaching a modest 78 hydrogen phosphide, connected to an electric motor generating an additional 68 HP. This gives a system of 110 hydrogen phosphide, which is equivalent to the performance of a compact with a 1.6 to 1.8 petrol unit. This is a classic hybrid that works on its own and in its own way. It also charges itself while driving. The drive mainly uses the electric engine to start and crawl in traffic jams, which is why fuel consumption in the city can positively surprise even people who previously drove diesel. 5 to 6L, 100 kilometers is not so much the norm, but sometimes the maximum values. On the other hand, fuel consumption increases on the route in proportion to the speeds achieved. This is not a car for motorways, but on typical national roads, fuel consumption looks similar to that in the city. A huge advantage of the drive is its low noise and smooth operation, although not everyone will like the characteristics of the ECVT transmission. High torque generated mainly by the electric motor provides a great sprint to a speed of 50 to 60 km per hour, and even to 100. The Prius does not necessarily have to be left behind. Another advantage is durability. On the electric motor alone, you can accelerate to about 20 km per hour. What goes wrong with the Toyota Prius? The basic issue is the drive, which is the most interesting area in this topic. Toyota does not disappoint. They designed an engine that, apart from basic fluid replacement issues, does not require maintenance. The unit is extremely durable and reliable, and is also equipped with a timing chain drive, practically maintenance-free. It's similar with the electrical part. Batteries that scare some people can easily withstand mileage of 200,000 kilometers or even more, and the only thing they don't like is long stops. You should remember this when going on a few-week vacation. In such situations, it's worth entrusting the car to someone. Let them drive for a while. In case of wear, the batteries can be replaced, and here's a note: it's not a high cost. If this seems like a prohibitive price to you, I'll just mention that in a compact, replacing a damaged turbocharger, dual mass flywheel and 2 diesel injectors will cost about the same. This is an expense incurred once every 200 to 300,000 kilometers. The manufacturer guarantees the battery for 8 years with a limit of 160,000 kilometers, but on condition that inspections are performed every 15,000 kilometers. There are no problems with the transmission, electric drive or its control. The engine also has practically no problems, although it works in extremely difficult conditions, even several starts per minute. There are no accessories, alternator, starter, so the risk of failure is reduced. Air conditioning service is specific because it is not a traditional system. It is worth remembering this when going to a service. They must have the necessary authorizations and the appropriate equipment. Traditional suspension is problem-free and generates relatively low costs. You can easily buy hubs and bearings, and for some time also shock absorbers. The running gear is durable and trouble-free. The braking system is also very durable, and also cheap to service, because the elements are common with the Corolla. Does the car cause any problems? Not much. First of all, you hear about rodents attacking even the cockpit due to the specific materials. However, if they get to the electrical wiring, it will end badly not only for them, but also for the owner. Due to the underheated exhaust system, corrosion deposits can accumulate on it. Generally, with Priuses, it is so that they practically do not break down, have no factory defects and are considered reliable, but remember the scale. If we compare the number of Priuses with the number of Astras, Golfs or Focuses sold in Europe, then perhaps the high reliability results primarily from the small number of copies, and at that, they are used specifically. Perhaps, but for now we know that it is a decent design. In our opinion, yes, especially because cars are already affordable. Who do we recommend them to? First of all, people looking for a cheap means of transport around the city, driving mainly in such conditions, having a diesel in the garage for longer trips. Of course, the Prius will also do well on the road, but the city is its territory. It is also spacious and practical, and also cheap to run. It is surprising that the car still does not find many fans. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to write about them in the comments.
I have good news for you. Now, if you are planning to buy a used car, or learn more about your car, you no longer need to search for the information you need on the internet. We have collected everything in one place for you, on the website carme.pro. Here you can find out everything about the car, what breaks and at what mileage, any problems with engines, chassis or gearboxes, which trim levels are better not to mess with and how not to lose money buying a used car. You will learn all this on carme.pro.